So today we're going to cover books, something we've been doing since we were a little kid in school. So I'm going to show you some different twists on covering books. Some that we've just covered and put book plates on. We actually put an image on here with our transfers. Also stamping on the sides of books. But whatever you come up with, have a fun time with it.
So here's another fun idea with books. I have so many of these books that we had gotten from a school and they were going to discard them. And I've used a lot of them for my projects, but to put them on the shelf, I thought I would just stamp the page side, and then you can have some fun words or ideas or the names of your kids or birth dates or whatever you'd like, but it's just another fun idea.
So here's another idea to cover books. I wanted all my books to be monochromatic, all to match what I had in my house, and I love my books. So I just covered them all with the same paper and just printed out little book plates and put their names in each one. So first we're going to start by putting our book cover on, which we all have done probably 100 times during school, having to cover our books. And I really like using this newsprint, which you can pick up at a office supply store, any craft store. And I like to get the really big sheets because you never know if you're going to have a big book or a small book. So all we do is just like we did in school, fold our paper over our book. Okay, so after you've covered all your books, and I use newsprint on these, you're going to have to measure how wide and how tall your books, all the books that you're going to use, whether you're going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or however many, how much room you're going to need to fill with an image. I decided to go with this floral from IOD, and I kind of marked it off. It's kind of great because you have your grid lines on here, so you can really measure on the book. And when I looked at it, I kind of realized I was going to need about 5 grid lines for each book end. And I wanted a little overlap at the top and at the bottom. So when you stand them up, it doesn't just look bare in the front. Okay, so first what I'm going to do is cut my transfer. And I know I want to go to right here. And I'd always rather do just even a smidge bigger than smaller, because you can always take it off. So I'm going to cut down the side in between these two lines. Okay. And what I decided is I wanted 5 in between each one. So 5 will go over here, but the 2 end ones I was going to have a little extra. So I'm going to cut right here. So the front and back one will have 6. And I'm just trying to keep them on this so they don't come off of there. I'm going to cut down this line. I'm trying not to get your pieces mixed up. And also when you're putting them on your books, make sure you double, triple check that your books are upside up in the way you want them in order. Don't ask me how I know that. So I'm going to take my first piece, my farthest right, and line this up. I'm going to want this left edge right around the edge of the binding. And I said, and if this goes over a little, that's okay. And then I'm just going to start my project. So when I'm done with the first book, you can see I've had this book standing behind it to help brace it. I'm going to grab my next book, line it up just to make sure I stay even against this book, and then we can make sure we get a nice even line. I'm going to grab my next piece of transfer.
Okay, so we got all four done, and I just put them on my bookshelf. Doesn't that look adorable? So the only other thing I would do is make sure it's burnished down well, and then put some sort of a seal on it. I didn't do that yet, but I am going to do that. But you can do that with any of your transfers. You could probably even do it with your stamps on paper, and then cut your paper apart and put it on there also. But have fun covering books.